Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today is a very rainy day, but nonetheless we're going to be making some plantain tarts. Plantain tarts here in Jamaica is a delicious tart that is filled with ripe plantain. So if you're a lover of ripe plantain, you will definitely love this one. And the plantain has to be extremely ripe. As you can see right here, I have a plantain and you notice how the skin is black. I had them in my fridge and I didn't want them to spoil, so I put them in my fridge. Extremely ripe, so the plantain needs to be extremely ripe. Don't worry about the color being black or spotty. That is the appropriate plantain to be used. Alright, I have some flour, sugar, salt, vanilla, and I have some red food coloring. And the red food coloring is for the plantain mixture, the stuffing. And the reason for that is because traditionally when you're growing up and you cut into a plant or you break into a plantain tart, you usually see red or a pinkish color. It's a traditional, it's a thing, alright? So we now break the tradition and you can do it without the coloring, no problem. I have some vanilla, I have some mixed spice, nutmeg and cinnamon powder. And I have some butter in the fridge, don't want it to melt because we'll be making up some short crust pastry. No, the short crust pastry is something that I've done before for my gizzada. So if you've seen my gizzada video, you know what we are gonna make. Oh, the dye got on my finger. Bloody hell. Anyways, we're gonna be making up the short crust pastry and we're gonna, put it in the fridge to rest. Then we're gonna do the filling for the plantain. So let's do that. Alright, so in the bowl we have 2 cups of flour and we're gonna go ahead and add our salt. Alright, we're gonna add our salt and we're just gonna mix that around. Try to get all the salt throughout the flour, because you don't want one side tasting of salt and the other side not tasting of salt. So you want to mix in that salt properly. Alright, and the next thing we're going to do is add our butter. This is half cup of butter, about half cup of butter. And we're just gonna add our butter and we're gonna massage the butter into the flour. Alright, now you want a consistency of breadcrumb. Oops, you want a consistency of breadcrumb. So you wanna, just go through and mash the butter into the flour. So it's important that you've been storing the butter in the fridge or in the freezer. Frozen butter can be used because you have to keep the butter firm. And you also want to be quick about massaging it throughout, alright? Because the moment your finger touches the butter, it starts to melt, alright? So we're just gonna massage the butter into the flour, and as I said, we want consistency of breadcrumb. And I did this short crust pastry already when I was making my gizzada, so be sure to check out my gizzada video. And if you're liking the video so far, guys, and you haven't subscribed as yet, don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell so that you can be aware whenever it is that I post. Also leave a comment, that also helps the video. Right, so I'm just taking my time to massage the butter into the flour. And you're going to be mixing this with some ice cold water. So the water needs to be extremely cold. Alright? It's raining cats and dogs outside at the moment. Like, alright, so now that we have the consistency that we want, we're gonna go in with our ice cold water. Alright, a little at a time, and you won't be kneading, so you want to just take your time, bring it together. Alright, take your time and bring the dough together. Alright, so you're just going to be doing this until you have a nice rounded compact structure. And if it's a little dry, you can always go in a little bit more water, you know, just to get it moist and soft. Alright, so we're just doing this, guys. Bringing it together. You guys hear the rain outside? It's raining cats and dogs. It's a little dry, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. Bring it together. Alright, so let me clear these off. We're gonna add a little flour to the board. And we're gonna empty out the mixture to the board. And we're just gonna bring it together. Alright? Alright, so just gonna form a nice little ball, and if you think it's too dry or it's feeling too dry, you can always add some water. I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Alright, so now that we have this going on here, we're going to just get to our plastic wrap. And we're just going to wrap it in the plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes. Alright, so we're just going to put this in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, so now that pastry crust is in the oven, not the oven, the fridge. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next step. Alright, so we're gonna have our plantain here. We have a pot. Now we're just gonna peel our plantain. Peel our plantain. Add it to the pot. You can cut them if you want. You can cut them up smaller if you want, but I really don't see the need. So I just peel them. You know, they have these little string things, so maybe you want to get those off. You can get those off. Just wipe my hands off. And then we're gonna go in with our masher and just mash the plantain. Alright, we're gonna go in with our sugar. And of course, I'm gonna leave all the measurement for whatever it is that I use here today, as I usually do. We're gonna add in our sugar. We're gonna add in some vanilla. We're gonna add in our spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, mixed spice. And we're just gonna be mixing this together. Continue to mash and get all of the ingredients, you know, melted together. Alright, and we're just gonna go in with a little of the food coloring, the red one. And this is optional, purely optional. So I just want a little tiny tip. We're gonna mix that in. And you can gauge it based on brightness that you want, you know. So it's all up to you. I'm gonna add a little tiny tip more. And I feel like it's not red or pink enough, so I'm gonna do a little bit more. Hopefully this one will do it. Yeah, this one will definitely do it. So, yeah. And then we're gonna heat it up on the stove for about 2 to 3 minutes on very low heat. Alright? So let's head over to the stove and do that. Alright, so we're just gonna add this on for about 2 to 3 minutes. Let it heat up a little bit. And then we're gonna put it to cool and we're gonna roll out our pastry. Alright, so let this heat up a little bit. And we're gonna heat it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Alright, so it has been 3 minutes now. And we're just gonna turn off the flame and let this cool and go ahead and roll out our shortcrust pastry. So while that is cooling, we have our shortcrust pastry. And we're gonna get some flour and flour the board. Alright. Roll out our shortcrust pastry from the plastic wrap. Alright. Probably not going to use all of it, so I'm going to cut this in half. Set half over there. And then now we're just going to roll this out a little bit. The last time I didn't have a rolling pin. Look at me now. So we're just gonna roll it out until we have the desired thickness that we're looking for. You don't want it too thin. You don't want it too thin at all. Alright, so I think this thickness is fine. So we're gonna try and get some cuts out of this. Alright. If you have a cookie cutter or something of the sort, you can go ahead, but I don't have any, so I will be improvising again. So I don't have a cookie cutter, so I'm gonna be improvising again. I'm gonna be using this circular cup thingy here, this measuring cup, and we're just gonna go and get a few of them. I think these are gonna yield me some very small plantain tarts, but I don't mind. But you can use a larger thing to get bigger ones if you want. I'm gonna get some small ones today, but I don't mind that at all. Alright, so now that we have these all rolled out, I think I have 6 of them, 6 very small circles, and that's fine. If you want them to be bigger for you, you can go ahead and use a bigger cutter. I have the filling here that is cool now, and we're just gonna, fill these. Alright, so here I have an egg wash, and we're just gonna, put it on the circumference or the perimeter of the pastry here, and we're gonna close it, and we'll also brush some on when we're going to bake. These are going to be mini tarts, and I don't mind that at all, I don't mind that at all. So we're just gonna take a little filling, not too much, because these are mini, but if you have a bigger one, you can definitely put more. Alright, so just gonna be gentle with the amount of filling that we use here, not too much. Then we're gonna go with our egg wash, go around the edge, and we're gonna fold over. Alright, and then we're gonna use a fork to close the ends, just like this. So these are gonna be mini plantain tarts, and I'm fine with that, all right? Because I only have a small cutter at the moment, and I'm just gonna work with what I have, right? Small cutter, mini tarts, all right? So we're just gonna go ahead now and do another one. I feel like I need some flour on the board because they're sticking to the board. I'm just gonna go in with a little filling. Go in with our egg. Fold over, use your fork, close. Right, mini plantain tarts. We also want to preheat your oven to 370 degrees Fahrenheit. And when we're finished here, we're just gonna pop them in the oven and bake at the 370 for about 15 to 20 minutes, all right? Or until the desired appearance is achieved, all right? So we're just gonna do this to completion and then we'll pop them in the oven. So now that we have all our mini plantain tarts filled, we're gonna go ahead and apply some egg wash, all right? And this is gonna get that nice brown color that we're looking for. And if you don't eat egg, this is purely optional. You can bake it as is, or you could use butter. You could use butter to get that nice color on the outside. Also, when we're closing it, we also applied the egg to the circumference, or should I say the perimeter. And also when we're filling them, we applied some egg. You can use water if you don't eat egg. It's purely optional, all right? So we're just gonna cover the tarts here before we put them in the oven to bake. All right, now you can use a fork and poke some holes in them, or you can just use a knife and do a little slit on it. You know, so I'm gonna use a knife and do a little slit on each of them. Alright, so now that we've applied those cuts, we're just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some granulated sugar on the surface. This is optional also, you don't have to do this. Alright, and we're just gonna pop these in the oven. Alright guys, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like the video. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Drop a comment something, man. Let me know so the day I'll watch with me. Alright, so I'm gonna pop these in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, so let's do that. gonna try one of them so that you guys can see. I'm gonna try one of them. Let me pick one of them and just. Alright, so we're gonna try this one. Oh my god. Oh my god. So amazing. Wow. I love it. I really hope you guys enjoy this one. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and share with a friend, you know, and click that notification bell so that you can be notified whenever it is that I post a new video. So thank you all so much for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in my next video. Remember, be safe in the kitchen, keep cooking, peace.